What's up with the what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We live and in living color, live from the shop. Again, we got to thank the shop for allowing us to do this. We appreciate the love and support from all the people that's following, liking, subscribing, and sharing the channel. And without further ado, we got to get right into it. I want to start today's show off by talking about the podcasting game. And I know some of y'all going to be like, well, what does the podcasting game have to do with sports? And it has a lot to do with sports if you've been paying attention to what's been happening, especially on ESPN and all these networks where they're getting rid of a lot of guys. And if you look at it, the reason why they're getting rid of guys is because of, their opinions and how they approach, topics of discussion on TV. And with these networks, you're controlled by a lot of higher ups. So, like I said, we're getting into the podcasting thing because it's very important in this day and age. As you can see, a lot of superstars and a lot of these athletes and actors and entertainers and what have you, they're coming out with podcasts because they can speak their piece. They can really talk that shit. They can really give you their authentic opinion without having to have repercussions placed upon their head. And it's crazy because the podcasting game started with guys like myself and random and regular people, who during the COVID, time wanted to just express themselves. They didn't have a chance to, go out into the world and talk to other people or vent their frustrations or whatever. So that's how it started. And it became like a money game too, where people can monetize off their opinions, talking about past histories and stuff like that. So now what we have now is it's becoming very important, like I said, the podcast game, because again, mainstream media is going away. I knew it was going to happen where you can't express yourself the way you want to express yourself, especially in sports. And I'm going to get right into the reason I brought this to the forefront this morning. You see what happened to Ryan Clark. Now, with Ryan Clark, a lot of y'all, if you don't know, he owns his own podcast called The Pivot with two other athletes. I believe it's Channing Crowder. But you saw what happened to him. And if you've been following Ryan Clark, when there's topics coming up, like in the George Floyd situations and with the police brutality going on, and again, like Jaylen Brown with his situation with Boston, he's going to speak out. He's going to speak his piece. He's going to talk that shit. He's going to give his true opinion. He's not going to be held back by ESPN. He's not going to Stephen A. Smith us. You know what I'm saying? Where he going, brother, talk that cool shit, but in the back end, still follow the masters at ESPN and the format they laid out for him, how to, explain things, especially when it comes to dealing with our people and our culture. But Ryan Clark doesn't take that approach. He's never taken that approach. As you can see, when Orlovsky was on there basically chastising Jalen Hurts, he basically brought it to the forefront and what we all been thinking. A lot of these folk, they don't want to hear, black Americans speak the truth, especially black athletes. They don't want their opinions on TV. Because with the influence that these black athletes have, if you get enough of them starting to speak the truth and starting to talk what they feel, you'll get a lot of other people, random people like me, regular folk like me. If this athlete with a lot of money is willing to risk his popularity and his fame and what those people at the top are paying him to speak his piece and to speak the truth, then what the fuck? Me as a regular person, I can go out there and do the same. Then you kind of create a trend and a following. So again, like Ryan Clark, like I said, he goes on TV, he speaks his truth when it comes to these issues that face black athletes. And let's be frank, ESPN, the folk at the top, and we know they not our folk, they don't like that shit. They don't want him speaking out. They don't want him educating the masses of what really happens behind the scenes in these corporations and how they really feel about these athletes. Let's face it, they feel like athletes are mules. You just dog in a pony show. I like to use that term, dog and pony show, but I say you're just a dog in a pony show, meaning you're just another cog in a wheel, just a body. And if you got a brain like a Jaylen Brown, like a Jalen Hurts, you come from the two-parent background, you don't fit these narratives, and you speak out on shit that shouldn't be going on, then you get ostracized. You get blackballed. You get blacklisted. And this is another prime example of a media personality getting blackballed. getting fired. You know what I'm saying? And the way they did it was so disrespectful, so out of pocket. But you know what? What the folk don't understand is we play on the same playing field when we use our brain. And best believe, you know what I mean, the lawyers is on your ass, ESPN. The lawyers is on your ass. And I'm encouraging a blackout. Fuck them. Don't watch them no more. And I might have to sacrifice a couple Eagles games, but fuck it, I'll listen to Merle either way. I'll listen to Merle. I'm used to listening to Merle when they used to black Eagles games out back in the day. Yeah, that's how far I go back. I'm what they call a real fan. I just didn't fly by night on this bandwagon. Those that go back like I do, back to the vet days, they used to black Eagles games out because they couldn't sell out. See? People don't remember that, you know what I mean? We wasn't always everybody dancing around doing the bird and all that, you know what I mean? When we wasn't shit, you know, people wasn't going to those games. It wasn't always a waiting list for tickets to get to the Eagles. You know what I mean? I've been on this bandwagon. I ain't just start this train. So we had to listen to Merle. So I go back to listen to them. Fuck ESPN. Because if you can get a guy like Ryan Clark off, I don't want to sit there and listen to Dan Orlowski and the rest of these clowns and then these skirts that y'all put on, the TNA show that y'all put on there so y'all can appease the male demographic. And they get fooled by it. Some will, but I won't. I want to hear sports. I don't want to hear a bunch of motherfuckers up there that don't know shit. That don't know shit. You know what I mean? We all got opinions, and even myself. You know what I mean? But I do the research, I do the work, and I try to come up with honest and formulated, educated opinions. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're all opinions, but I want to make it as close to informative as possible. But again, when you got guys like that, they do you dirty. They fired this man at halftime, ladies and gentlemen, which is embarrassing. It's sad. It's not professional. And it shows you how they give a fuck about you. They basically showed this man that his works and all the hard work he put in, all those great interviews he did, especially the one where he interviewed Jalen Hurts and was a part of that interview with Michael Vick and all the great black quarterbacks that came throughout the Eagles. And I'm going to touch on that too at a later date because a lot of people don't know that. The Eagles have, if not the most black quarterbacks starting in the history of the NFL, they got to be amongst the teams that to do it. There's been black quarterbacks all throughout the Eagles' history. You know, that doesn't get talked about enough either. But again, back to Ryan Clark. They did that man in dirty in the most embarrassing of ways, and I believe that in itself, they say business can't be personal. Well, business is personal, and they did that in the most personal way. They did that to basically statement out there, and it's crazy, it's sad. And Stephen A. Smith, you should be ashamed of yourself, bruh. A lot of times we tell people sometimes you gotta mind your business that pays you and all that. But come on, man. You got on your show and you talked about this brother like a colleague, he's a brother and all this. You're in good with the higher ups. You couldn't go up there and fight for that man. You couldn't say, damn, well at least if y'all gonna do this, you know what I mean, then at least give that man the dignity to walk out of here with some pride. Instead, they just said, fuck it, commercial break, we're gonna tell him pack his shit, he got to go. Come back from commercial break, he's not even on set. That's insane. But there's a price to pay. And I hope he makes y'all pay the heavy price. Because again, like they say, when God closes one door, he opens another. And shout out to Ryan Clark, man. You're still going to listen to The Pivot. You know what I mean? You're still going to get our educational sports opinion from him. And like I said, ESPN, man, fuck y'all. With two birds. Fuck y'all, man. Stephen A., you on the chopping block too, bruh. Your spot ain't safe. Your spot is not safe. Believe it. Believe it. And how they gonna get you is they gonna get you with the very thing they got Jalen, with my man, Jalen, my man that played basketball, Jalen. There's too many Jalens. You got Hurts, Brunson, name is Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose. How they did him. The whole Miley Kern situation. It's insane. It's insane. How they doing my man Marcellus Wiley. They taking his domestic situation and his personal situation, which again, the man is always guilty when it comes to these ladies. We seen that. But that's a whole nother show and a whole nother topic. But you see how they do these black folk. Perk, you on the chopping block, Big Perk. They ready to come at your big country ass. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear you speak your truth on TV. When you got on there and start talking about the Jaylen Brown situation, and you close to that situation because you played for Boston, and you're a TV analyst for Boston. So, yeah, you on the chopping block too, Big Perk. All it's going to take is for you to get on there and speak your truth and speak like the strong black man that you are, raised from down south. Wait until you get on there and speak your piece. Wait until you get on there and start talking that shit like we do. Talking your sports like I talk. Like you hear from me. When you hold people to the fire. But, again, this is the networks we're dealing with. That's why, again, it's important. And again, I do this. Yeah, I would like to monetize, and I hope and pray I do. But if I don't, I still get a chance to speak my piece. I still get a chance to do what I love to do. Without restraints. Without motherfuckers at the top telling me what I can and cannot say. How I can and cannot approach these interviews. Can't express myself. No. I ain't selling out. Before I sell out, I get the fuck out. Not the hell out, the fuck out. Because I'm for the people, this is for the people, this is by the people. This is why we interview the regular man. This is why we get the regular man's sports opinion, because we count. We're the ones out here spending that dollar, so why can't we give our opinion? We watch the game just the way these other people do. And they ain't got no more inside information than we do now in this day and age. Because the cameras are always rolling, and these athletes are out and about chilling. So shit that y'all know we gonna know too. Might know more. Because the athlete of the day feel comfortable talking to guys like me, as opposed to these dudes that got to be held to network standards. Because we get to ask the real questions and get the real answers and let them share their real emotion without judgment. Let them, if they really want to say, man, fuck management, they treat me bad. Well, say it and say why. Because we understand as a fan why. Because let's face it, we live vicariously through these athletes. When we watching them on TV. When we choose to bet and spend our money, hard-earned money, betting and going to these games. And like I said, tickets ain't cheap. Parking ain't cheap. Buying a jersey ain't cheap. Yeah, this hat right here, this shit about $30. But I spent it because it's my passion. It's my love. But this is what's happening nowadays. Corporations are taking over. They want to tell us how to be fans. They want to tell the analysts how to analyze. And when you fall for it, Stephen A., when you act like the Kyle and Kyle Turbs of the world and the Skip Bayless, you see what happens. You see what happens. This is why Shannon Sharp got caught up. Yeah, it was because he was messing with a white girl and doing his thing, but you're not looking at the underlying shit. That shit don't matter to these corporations. Yeah, do what you will. Until we need to use it to get you off the network. Because you're talking too much. You're saying too much about the inner workings of this shit. Because it's about this. And about how we want you to express yourself on TV. Think about it. And this kind of ties in. Ben Roethlisberger raped 3 bitches. And still had a job. My man got caught with a massage therapist, and his career has not recovered since. Deshaun Watson. Now let's think about that for a second. Ben Roethlisberger, red-handed. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. See the difference? See the difference? They're going to knock you right out the ballpark. And with that, I got to segue right into this Philly shit, man. This weekend was a disaster. A total disaster. A total disaster. And again, I put up a post on my Facebook page with me screaming and yelling at the TV, and it said mistakes. What happened in the series this weekend? Mistakes. Trey Turner, mistakes. Base running mistakes. JT Realmuto, Carl Crawford's son, and my man Crawford, mistakes on the base pass. You cannot make mistakes and expect to win a big game, especially against an opponent like the Dodgers, who they top to bottom the best team in baseball. You cannot make mistakes. And then your top two pitchers are pitching, and you split. You need to win those two games when you got a guy like Aaron Nola coming up, which he pitched yesterday. And he's the solo home run machine. You got to score runs, which we did. But, again, you got a guy on the mound who's the home run waiting to happen when he's pitching. That type shit. And you saw it yesterday in full-fledged, full circle. You saw it yesterday. In the flesh. In the flesh. And until we address mistakes on this baseball team, it's going to continue to cost us in the batter's box. No matter what we do. Again, Bryce Harper, it's time to show up. We need you to show out, guy. We need you to show out. We need you to show out. Didn't I have a hit yesterday? I'm not sure what you did in this series. Nothing. Basically nothing. And it's going to cost us. It's going to continue to cost us. And we're in the stretch run. Right now, we're coming to the middle of July. Teams are vying for position. We're 4.5 out from first place. We have to catch the Braves, or we're going to meet the Dodgers in the first round. And we all know this is the season. It's a do or die. Get it done, or heads going to roll. Cat's going to be gone. The boys club is going to be broken up. The boys club is going to be broken up. And again, we need a guy like a Jimmy Rollins on this team. And I'm saying it, and I'm going to say it on my show. It's no offense to you. And if you take offense, y'all know my motto. Fuck it. Sorry. This is an offensive world. Don't mean to, but it is what it is. This shouldn't offend, but it's because it's the truth. Truth hurts. Philadelphia Phillies, I love the fact that you have Spanish on the team. I love the camaraderie on the team with the boys club. We need some brothers. We need some brothers. I don't know where you got to go. I don't know where you're going to find them. We need some brothers. We need some brothers. We have not won, and this is fact. And every time the Phillies have won, which they won 2 World Series in franchise history, it's a fact. You got brothers on the team. Let's go back. 1980. Big McBride. Broussard. Secretary of Defense. Maddox. Matthews. Brothers. Yes. On the team. Pete Rose. Brothers. I know y'all laughing at me. Yes. I'm counting Pete Rose in there. For those of y'all don't know the Pete Rose story, mad respect for that cat. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. Y'all got motherfuckers with steroid use that have been injecting since the dawn of the new era in their ass and bopping baseballs, and they're in the Hall of Fame. And you got Pete out there. Yeah, no tiny bet on baseball, by the way. But you got, y'all ready to put him in the Hall of Fame, but you let Pete die without getting in. And that's sad. Yes, Pete Rose. Here's a guy who, when he played for Cincinnati during the racist era in baseball, basically hung out with the brothers. And his reasoning being is because they were the only ones that talked to him. Look at that. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. Yes, Pete Rose, honorary brother. Definitely gets a pass to the cookout. Drinking 40 and all that shit. But yeah, we need brothers on the team. It's something about the brothers that bring the spark, the swag, the will to win, the ability to look their opponent in the eye. You ain't shit. We about winning. When we in between these white lines, it's on. Ain't no quit. I will not be denied type shit. Yeah. And until that happens, still gonna have the boys club. We're gonna be dancing on our own and all that goofy shit in the locker room. And we ain't gonna win. You see the Dodgers? Mookie Betts. Yeah, brothers that look like brothers. Teoscar Hernandez and all these guys. Yeah, yeah. The mix. You got to mix. Basketball, it's a little different. Listen, race is race. And it's not about race, it's just about what it is. In basketball, I'm looking at the Sixers, and we did it this year. Finally. Our best teams have been when Indeed has been surrounded with shooting. White balls. The proof is in the pudding. J.J. Redick. Dario Saric. Come on. And let's go even when we had the Jimmy Butler team. Still had a shooter. White. Think about it. Even the AI days, Kyle Korvers. All of a sudden, in certain shit may not be too good. You need that mix. You need somebody to bring something different to the table. Yeah, he can't guard a flea, but he could shoot his ass off. We'll make up for the rest. But I digress. But again, Phillies, man, baseball this weekend was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Terrible, terrible for what we're trying to do. And unless these things are addressed, we're not going to address. Again, defensive issues, Trey Turner, it got to be an ultimatum. My man, listen. Another era, bruh, you're gonna come sit right here. Join me. Don't even say nothing. Don't say shit. Just join me right here. And then we need you at 5 in the morning, every day, till the season's over, working. Going back to Little League type shit. Oh, you don't want to do it? No problem. Come on. We got you right here. You're going to make your money. Guaranteed contract. But next year, we'll ship you out of here. We got a free plane ticket for you. That's how that shit got to go. That's how I got to go. That's how I got to go. You can't do the most basic shit that we all start with. Hey, man, it ain't personal. Well, it is personal because business is personal. So take it how you want to take it. Come on. Do this right here. Do this. Do that. Just sit on down. Just sit on down. But again, horrible weekend. Horrible weekend. And before we get out of here, man, here's something that I got to speak about. And it's sad I got to do it. What are we doing? NBA, Adam Silver, well, the LeBron James League or whatever you want to call it. Like, I can't, man. I can't. And I'm sure hardcore Sixers fans like myself, I'm done, man. I'm done. I got on here and, I've been on my rants. I want him, I don't want him. The basketball fit side of it, and then the media circus. I can't no more. I can't, man. This dude is holding up the schedule. Now we're hearing he's not going to make a decision to the end of the month. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck it. I don't give a damn where you go, man. But don't come here. Please. Just go to Cleveland, go to Golden State, do whatever you want. Document your whole shit. And when you leave us, thank God. And don't make Wemby the face of the league because he's a punk too. And we'll get on him at a later show. So stay tuned for that rant. But yeah, LeBron, LaFraud, LeWait, whatever you want to call yourself, you and Rich Paul, the weasel that he is, because I'm starting to look at him as a weasel too. Like a fucking weasel. Like you like one of those dudes that people told you what you wasn't going to be, and yeah, sometimes that does light a fire in the ass, but come on, man. Like now you on some arrogant shit. Like, well, the world don't wait for y'all motherfuckers. The world don't wait, and as a potential teammate, like I'm looking at this dude like, do I really want to play with this type of shit? Do I really want this guy on my team? Like where I'm constantly rolling my eyes at the silly shit he's doing, like, come on, man. Like, you're not the king for real. Like, you might be the king in basketball, but like, come on, man. You got the NBA holding up on you. to make a decision where you're going to play. At this point, Adam Silver tell him, fuck it. You don't make a decision by next week, man, we're going to just send you to where we want to send you. We're going to do like we did the Chris Paul trade. We're going to veto it. We're going to veto it, and we're just going to send you wherever the fuck we want to send you. Fuck it. Send him to an expansion team. Let him play there. Send him to Seattle when y'all get him a team again. Let him see what it's like out there. No media coverage. Fans could care less. Where the Kraken is more popular than the basketball team. Like LeBron, man, this shit is a turn off, bro. And any sports fan that likes LeBron, man, you gotta be looking at this guy like, what? Who the hell is he? Like, what does he think he is? Is he above the league? Like, even the great Jordan didn't do shit like this. I mean, well, he did, but he had the cachet to do it. He had the cachet to do it. I'm talking about feats that will never be broken. Like winning 6 rings. 2 3-peats. Not 1. 1 is hard enough. The man 3-peated twice. Twice. So, with him doing it, I could see. But this dude, come on. Come on. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all stopping through. For those that stopped through, like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube. We on Twitch now too, y'all. This thing is moving. It's growing. Be a part of the growth. Be a part of the show. Share your comments in the comment section. And we coming soon with this phone. We're ready to get some phone activation. So y'all can call in, share your thoughts, clean thoughts, or we will bang on your ass. We ain't one of them. We're going to give you time enough to speak your piece. The standard 2 minutes. Speak your piece. Say what you feel. If you cuss, you cuss. But don't come on here with no bullshit. Before you hate, we will disintegrate. Click. Just like that. But again, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on my Twitch feed, on my Facebook Live, on my YouTube Live, Twitter Live. It's your boy, Angry Tad, talking that sports shit like we do. You know what I mean? We opinionated. Some facts, never fiction. We try to give our opinion. And we try to give it to you raw, straight, and real. Join the revolution. Holla at your boy. What's up with the what's up? And as always, love on somebody that loves on you. Peace.